right, so I just wanted to introduce myself real quick. I'm Rebeka Fillmore with Inspire Her Within. I'm an empowerment coach for women, so I help women to have less stress, more peace, more balance and clarity in their personal and professional lives. And when I started Inspire Her Within, I started with just selling apparel with a message of encouragement to women with "You Are Worthy" on the back. And I've been coaching women for over 6 years. On my own, I've been doing it for about a little bit over 2 years. So I have background with domestic violence training, mental health first aid, mediation training, anything that has to do with the human mind. I either had training on it or I've experienced myself. So I'm also, I also have a podcast called Her Inspired Mind, which you can check out on all podcast platforms. I'm also a motivational speaker, and my first published affirmations journal is on Amazon. And then at the end, I'll share the link with that if you guys want to check it out. So I do have Inspire Her Within, but recently I just created a different entity called Empowered Mind Coaching, because a lot of times, you know, when I'm going to be speaking at different places, I want them to be able to identify that I am a coach. And like I mentioned, I empower women so that they have more peace, more balance, and clarity in their personal and professional lives. So today's outline, we're going to start by having a vision for your life and why that's important. We're going to talk about writing out your goals, breaking down your goals, practicing self-care daily, and boundaries.
My favorite B word.
Yes, boundaries are necessary, right? So in order for us to be successful in every single area of our lives, we need to know where we want to go. I like to equate it as a GPS system. Like, if you don't put in your GPS where you're even starting and where you're going, you can end up anywhere. So that's why in life you need to know where you want to go. If you don't know where you want to go, you're going to end up anywhere. And anywhere is a very dangerous situation to be. So I love this quote that I came across. It says, "Without vision, you have no direction. Without direction, you have no purpose," by Steve Gilliland. I believe that's how you say his name. So my question to you is, have you taken the time to visualize the life that you want to have? Like, where do you see yourself at the end of your life? What are the things that you would have wanted to do, to experience and create, that your name would leave behind? So I really want you to just take a moment right now and think about this. If you see yourself in your old age and you're talking to your grandchildren about the life that you lived, what all would you have done? Because the thing is that many times people go through life without thinking about these things, and they just let life throw them around, and they just end up wherever life throws them, right? And they don't take the time to plan how they want their days to look like and feel like. Because your life is an accumulation of the days. It's an accumulation of your months, your weeks, and years. But we gotta start small, right? So you gotta think about, how do I want to feel every single day? And a lot of times people don't have a vision of where they want to go to in life because they have limited beliefs that are engraved in them, right? Maybe as a child you dreamt of being an astronaut, but your family told you, you would never be that. Or you had certain goals. I want to be a billionaire. Like, what? You're crazy. Like, we're poor, you know? So these are limiting beliefs that are engraved in us from a very young age. A lot of times it can be also because of what they've been through in life, right? They're afraid to even dream or hope for anything because of the disappointment they've experienced in life over and over again. And because of the fear that those things that they once dreamed about will never happen, they believe that they don't deserve it. Again, because of maybe things you've been through in life, because of the way that you were brought up, and those limiting beliefs are really engraved in you. So, in order to get to anywhere in life, you need a target, right? So, target, aka goals. But it's not good to just have goals and just have them in your head and thoughts and ideas. You need to write them out. So, you need to have personal and professional goals. So, I want to start with your personal goals. So I want to start with, and I want you to think about these questions, and I want you to start thinking about them. So how do you want to feel every single day? When you wake up, how do you want to feel every single day? What kind of relationships do you want to have? And I'm talking about in your personal, like your romantic relationships, with your children, with your family, with your friends. What kind of relationships do you want to have? What do your ideal days look like? Like when you wake up in the morning, what do you wish your days would look like? What are you eating every single day? What kind of foods? Are the foods you're eating nourishing your body? Are they giving you energy, or are they making you feel sluggish? And again, what kind of relationships do you have right now that you need to analyze and that maybe you need to change and let go of? So then, what kind of people do you want in your life? Do you want people who bring you down, who insult you, who degrade you? Or do you want people who speak life into you, who are positive and encouraging and build you up? What habits do you want to start? Do you want to start working out? Do you want to start meditating? Do you want to start yoga? Do you want to start running? What habits do you want to stop? Are there maybe negative thoughts that you have? Maybe sometimes people say negative Nancy. Do you look at everything negatively? Are there certain addictions that you want to stop? You know, so things of that nature. And then next, I want you to think about your professional goals. So a lot of times people, they work professions because of the money they earn. But as we can see, money is in everything. How many millionaires and billionaires take their lives because they're unhappy? So we cannot chase money, we need to chase purpose. So I ask you, in order for you to be truly happy in the profession that you have, what are you most passionate about? What sparks something in your heart? What makes you feel alive? When you talk about something, when you think about something, like what makes you feel the most alive? So right now, my question to you is, are you currently working in something that you're passionate about? And if you're not, again, start thinking about what are the things that you're passionate about that make you feel good and alive. The next question is, how much money do you want to be earning a year? Again, if you don't have a target, how are you going to hit anything? So you need to start thinking about numbers. What is a number? And I'm not talking about realistically, because a lot of times, well, realistically, no. Put that out the window. There's no limits to how much you can make. Literally. If someone came from poverty, living in the streets, homeless, and now they're a millionaire and billionaire, if they did it, so can you. So the next question then is, what kind of impact do you want to make with the work that you do? Again, living in purpose on purpose. So when you're working, what kind of impact do you want to make? I think about Anne, right? When she created this space, the impact she's making, she's giving people a space where they don't have to feel alone, that they can feel like they're part of a community, somewhere to belong, right? So that's just one example of the impact that we can make with the work that we do, following what lights us up. The next question is, what kind of people do you want to be working with? Again, like, do you want people who are negative, who are positive, who are uplifting, people who are on your team that actually see and support your vision and where you're going? You know, these are just questions that You need to ask yourself. And then in doing the work that you do, are there certain organizations that you're passionate about being able to give back to, right? Because when we make money and we're making an impact while we're making money, it feels good to be able to give back, right? And then again, how do you want to be remembered when you're gone? So these are all questions that, and I'm glad if you guys took pictures, please take time to journal through these questions later so that you can get the clarity, because questions lead to clarity. If you don't ask questions, you're not gonna get the answers. But you have to ask yourself the right questions. So, in order to be able to accomplish your goals, you wanna break your goals down into smaller portions. I love the quote that one of my coaches always asks is, how do you eat an elephant? At first I'm like, why would he even say that?
That is confirmation. Someone just told me.
Hallelujah. Praise God. Yeah, so you're like, how am I gonna? But the point is that you could eat an elephant if you took one bite at a time. If you took one step at a time. Because a lot of times we see our goals and we feel overwhelmed because it just feels like this huge thing. Like, for example, I want to make $350,000 this year, let's say, and it's like, wow, that's a lot of money. How do I even begin? And then a lot of times, what does that do? We get paralysis by analysis because we're like thinking about the bigger number and the bigger goal, but really you need to just take one step at a time. So when we set our goals, a lot of times we think about what we gotta start to do, right? But one of the best ways I've found to help you to accomplish your goals is to work backwards. So you think about your bigger goal, right? So for example, I want you to think about, what is your goal? What are some of your goals that you have for the next year? All right, so I want you to think about this. Write 3 personal goals down that you have that you want to accomplish for the next year, and 3 professional goals that you want to accomplish. So I'll give you some time to do that. So, as you write these goals, I hope that you have in mind, if you had a picture of the questions that I asked earlier, so that you can start to think about what your goals are for the next year. Then I'm gonna pass these out a while you guys do that. Welcome, thank you for being here. Yes. They're my favorite.
There's just so much there.
Yes. I think she left, but you can give her one later.
Yeah, of course.
So that's, right now, we're just writing any goals that you might have that you want to accomplish. 3 goals that you want to accomplish in your personal life, and 3 goals that you want to accomplish in your professional life by May 23rd, 2024. So we're very specific, right? Write a date, an exact date. Give you 1 more minute for that. Some thinking music. Clear your mind.
That's nap music.
Helps to take out the cobwebs from your mind. didn't finish, you can follow up with that later. So, alright, so this is how we do it, right? So you've written out the goals for the year, right? So how do we break it down? We're gonna break it down into 3-month increments. Then we're gonna write out our goals for the week. And then we're gonna write out goals for each day in alignment with your weekly goals. And then we're gonna write out a schedule for the next day and look at it every single night before, and we're gonna break it down into 30-minute block increments. And in that schedule, you're gonna include things that need to be done, including for your business and for your personal goals. And then you're also gonna create a morning and evening routine where you're spending time filling your cup. So we're gonna go over these things. All right, so yearly goals, right? Does anybody want to share one goal that they have for their personal or professional life?
Well, in my professional life, I want to feel free, fun, and ease in the content creation process.
Oh, I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. Anybody else?
I didn't write mine, but I just want to put myself out there more and just go to more, find out. I want to network with people that know stuff that's happening in Lancaster.
Okay.
Because every time I look on Lancaster page, I'm like, damn, I could have been there. So
Awesome. Love it. All right, so now that you have your yearly goal, what is something or some things, 3 things that you could do in the next 3 months to bring you one step closer to that goal that you have a year from now?
Say that again, please.
So what are 3 things that you can do in the next 3 months that are gonna bring you one step closer to the goal that you have a year from now? So for example, with your content creation, right? What are some things that you think you can do to help you to feel more at ease and make your content creation more fun?
Okay. Are you asking me to answer, or are you just giving me an example?
I'm giving you an example. If you want to answer, you can as well, but if you could think of one thing at least that you want to share.
I would have to just say practice more. Sometimes the technology overwhelms me,
Okay.
and so I would say practice more, but practice more with an easy mindset. Like, instead of listening to the thoughts that say this is overwhelming, just remind myself like, hey, I'm better than I was last week, so this is only gonna get better with time.
Okay. So for example, with that, what you just said, what if you incorporated some affirmations?
Ooh, I like
Right?
it, girl.
So let's say I create content with fun and ease. Creating content is so much fun. I am so thankful that I have so much knowledge and I am so well equipped with the technology to create content that gives and provides so much value to the world.
I love that, thank you.
You're welcome. So, it's rewiring our thoughts, right? It's unlearning to relearn. So in order for us to change our thought process, we need to give the brain something else to think about, because it's not just gonna magically disappear.
Mhm.
We're hardwired a certain way.
Mhm.
That's our default. We all have our default ways of being. But I bet you a lot of times, how many of you used to live a certain kind of life and a lifestyle and did certain things that you don't do anymore, right? But there's things that you do to maintain yourself in that position, because if you don't, you'll go back. And affirmations are a great way to begin to change how you feel and how you think about things, so that you can start doing the things that you truly want to do and also attract, because we are magnets. Whatever comes out of our mouths will come back to us,
For real, literally.
right? And that's biblical.
It's literally.
There's life and death in the tongue.
Mhm.
So we can either speak life into ourselves and into our lives, or we can push it away. We are creators. We are
Yes.
co-creators.
We are co-creators, absolutely.
So the next thing is, So you saw how we broke it down, right?
Mhm.
You have your goal for a year from now. But then we're gonna break it down into quarters, right? So it's every 3 months, but we're gonna start with the next 3 months for now. So we talked about what are some 3 things at least that you can do in the next 3 months that are gonna bring you one step closer to that goal that you have a year from now. But now, let's break it down a little bit more. Weekly goals, right? So, what are some things that you should be doing every single week that are gonna bring you one step closer to the goals that you have 3 months from now? I want you to write down at least 3 things. What's gonna help you hit that target? That you're gonna do every single week. If anybody needs help in prompting, let me know and I'll do my best to prompt you. And help you.
Take me down at like 12:50ish. Are emailing this? Is this something that you do, or do you ever do that?
Yes, so
Yeah.
I can. I could.
You don't have to feel pressure. I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
wondering.
no, I
Sometimes
could.
they do, they don't.
Yeah, I could if you want me to. I could definitely.
Just because
could.
I'm leaving early, so I'm gonna miss
okay.
some of it.
Yeah, I definitely could.
I'll reach out to you after this. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so now that we have, what are some things we could do every single week to help us accomplish our goals? Now I want you to break down even more. Think about your daily routine. What are you prioritizing? What are you doing every single day? The things that you're doing every single day, are they in alignment with the goals that you have, with the life that you want to live, with how you want to feel? I want you to reflect real quick and think about that. And as you think about that, the reality is that before we are able to accomplish anything outside of us, we need to make sure that we're performing at our highest selves. And that is why we need to be intentional about practicing self-care. What does self-care look like? A lot of people have different definitions of what self-care is. To me, it is taking care of your mental, physical, and spiritual well-being before anything else. So, what's going to help you to prioritize self-care is planning ahead. Because if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So that's why it's so important that you create a morning and an evening routine. So I have some examples of some things that you can incorporate into your morning and evening routine. In the morning, for example, you can begin your day by exercising at least 20 minutes. Ty stays at the gym. He lives there, right? That's how we met.
I don't look like it, but me too, because I also eat donuts.
Well, I know donuts are good. Yeah. So you can incorporate exercise, meditation, breath work, journaling, listening to a podcast, eating a healthy breakfast, drinking some tea. I love yerba mate or green tea, but any kind of tea, and taking a cold shower. No one has ever heard of that and the benefits. I can definitely share that with you. Right? But so these are a few things that you can incorporate in your morning routine. Some examples of what you can incorporate in your evening routine is meditating again, journaling, reading, affirmations, lighting a candle, dimming your lights. You could put some lavender oil diffuser or a spray. I found this spray at Save Mart. Works like a charm. You can also drink some tea, some chamomile tea, something to kind of relax you. Some ginger tea is good for your digestive system. Taking a warm shower or bath.
Is it bad that I do that opposite?
You know, whatever works for you. You know, whatever's gonna help you. These are just some examples. So, does anybody want to share maybe certain things that you do incorporate in your morning routine, or that you want to start incorporating in your morning routine?
So slowly I've been incorporating the breath work, like in the morning especially. Being that I'm like asthmatic, it's like crucial that I'm trying to get on top of it versus it controlling me. So lately breathing has been the biggest part. Or even like today I challenged myself and this week kind of to walk to work, being that I live so close. And today was just a great morning. Like it was a great start to my day, and I already can't wait to walk back home.
That's good.
So I'm like, I don't have to utilize my car. I live 3 minutes away driving,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I don't think I need my car.
Yeah, that's good. That's
So
awesome.
I'm bringing in a part of my morning routine, and if I can and I have somebody to walk with me, I also want to have an evening routine and doing the same thing and just kind of walking around. And as long as I have somebody with me, I'll feel safer walking around in the evening. But I'm kind of incorporating those now in both routines, morning and evening.
That's awesome.
Get a good breath work going.
Yes, breath work is amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
Meditation actually works. I do that with my son. My son has very bad asthma in the seasons with the pollen.
Yeah.
Makes it,
Aw.
especially now,
So
makes it 10
bad.
times worse. So the meditation with the breathing actually trains you very well to be able to get that control so it doesn't trigger. Because he's like that too. It could be anything that could just and take his whole breath away. Yeah. So I definitely understand. And if you want to exercise, I'll exercise. I'll walk with you.
There you go.
Listen, if you
There you go.
movement, as long as you move like at least 20 minutes, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
It releases certain feel-good hormones
Right.
to help to start getting your brain prepared for the day, you know, and to already reduce your stress levels, so like you're like ahead of the game by doing at least 20 minutes. Like you could do yoga, you could walk, you can do fast walking, a quick jog, a bike, whatever it is. Just start your day with movement.
I
Right.
do have to go shortly, but I did want to show you something, and I will follow up with you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah, me too.
Aw,
I wanted to
well,
show you this. real
hopefully I
fast.
can finish up
That's
before
what
1.
This was before I graduated college. I didn't say the break.
Oh, awesome. I love
want
it.
you to know this is amazing.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate your feedback. And I shared this sheet with you. Yeah, I'll try to finish up quickly so that you guys don't miss anything. So, evening routine, the same. So I did give you in your sheets your daily rituals. You have morning space to write out your morning routine, and you have space to write out your evening routine. So please be intentional about using that. So how to structure your days, right? So I have the 30-minute block scheduling has worked the charm for me. So now that
block schedules.
yeah. So basically, now that you have your morning routine and your evening routine, because you got to make sure that you're set up good first before you do anything else, right? You got to think about, what am I going to be doing in between, right? So you want to use your daily goals as your compass to help you structure your days with intentionality. And the purpose of this is to make sure that every day you're living your days with purpose and not wasting any time on things or people that do not serve any purpose to your life. So you're gonna be living intentionally with purpose every single day. And it's also, so there's no room for distractions to hold you back from, living the life that you truly desire. So I provided a sheet with a sample of what your days would look like, right? So you can use this to structure your day for tomorrow. So please use this for today. Use it today. to plan out your day for tomorrow and then see how it works. Send me a message, let me know, how did your day go? How did you feel?
So can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you've probably come across this. Discipline is an issue for me, right? But then that's me saying the client every
Yeah.
But actually, the more that I'm looking at, like, at one point I thought it was discipline. At one time I thought it was procrastination. But a lot of times I find that it's really, my intuition is telling me, like, this is not the time for it. The energy is not right for it.
Gotcha.
So how do you find a balance when you're somebody that, like, sometimes too much structure? Like, I got ADHD,
Yeah.
like, there's multiple D's.
Yeah.
I can't do this every day.
Yeah.
Because if I try to force myself into it, I'm not working in my magic.
Yeah.
And my magic is what moves mountains.
Yeah.
So what do you have, like, what if anything?
Yeah, so before anything, I'm a mom. I have 3 boys. I have a crazy toddler that's 3. I have a 10-year-old son and an 18-year-old son. So this is a guide. This is not like for you to beat yourself up if you don't do it perfectly.
Mhm.
This is just to give you the guidance to plan out your day. So like, let's say I didn't get up at 5 a.m. today and I got up at 6:30, right? Because my son woke up and wouldn't let me get to the gym. You just pivot, Let's say I woke up tired because I barely slept last night and I don't get up at 5. So it's about using grace, allowing grace, listening to your body, listening to your intuition, but knowing yourself good enough that when you're making an excuse,
Right.
and when you really don't want to do something, or because it's like really an issue, like I don't feel good, I have a migraine. Don't beat yourself up. Be gracious with yourself. Give yourself that space. This is just to allow you to see where you're going. Like, if I'm getting in my car and I'm trying to drive to New York and I'm not putting an exact address, that's gonna stress me out. So that's the same thing with your life. If you don't know what you're doing, it just allows you to have, like, feel more light. And also, I would change the word structure, right? So it's, what are you identifying this as? Look at it as a map. Whatever word, this is a map for your life. Whatever word is gonna help you to identify something positive with it. So for example, what word could you use now that you know what
Map
this
is
for?
exactly beautiful, perfect. I love it.
Yeah, this is a map to where the destination I want to get to. That's all it is.
Or a support.
I'm sorry?
A support.
A support. So whatever you want to use to identify with this, use that word.
That's great, thank you.
Okay? You're welcome. So you can use that if you want. You could use it to help you to structure, to map your day for tomorrow, right? And then I also have spaces here where tomorrow night you can write your wins for the day. So you want to celebrate yourself, and then what things you're grateful for as well. And as a side note, this is an excerpt of my daily planner that I'm creating. I'll let you guys know when it's going to be available.
So excited.
It's going to be up for a whole year, right? So yeah. So the next thing you need to do is set boundaries. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's probably because you don't have boundaries for yourself, for your business, or for people in your life. So what are boundaries and how can you apply them? Boundaries are like fences. Like, if there was no boundaries, like if, let's say, this property didn't have a boundary line, and that property, people could just come here and do whatever they want. That's the same thing in your life. If you don't have boundaries, then your life is gonna be chaotic. And people will push your boundaries. But when you love yourself and you have certain standards and you know where you're going and you're not letting anything or anyone come and mess that up, then you're gonna set yourself up for success. So a few examples. No is a full sentence. You don't gotta explain anything to anybody why you can't do this, go there. They can't come over, I'm not hanging out with them. Listen to your body, right? Like you said, your intuition. Listen, if something don't feel right, don't do it, don't entertain it. Have business hours and stick to them. Just because somebody else has an emergency, it doesn't make it your emergency. You need to protect your peace. You You need to stick to what your work hours are so that you can enjoy life as well. Don't push your time aside to cater to others. If it's your self-care time, if it's your gym time, and somebody's calling you, I need a ride here. No, I have to take care of myself first. Unless you're bleeding and you're, you know, that's different. But just because it's your mercy, don't make it mine. He said And again, boundaries are to protect your peace of mind. And if it's not in alignment with your goals, you cannot afford it. Remember that you are the captain of your life. You decide where you're gonna go. And if you're here today, if you want to scan this, I'm offering a free 30-minute clarity call. And we could talk about anything that we talked about here today. So yeah, you can schedule that if you would like, with the QR code there. Alright. And then you can find my affirmations journal on Amazon. There's a QR code, and my socials are here as well. Rebeka Fillmore on Facebook, Inspire Her Mindset on Instagram, Rebeka Fillmore on LinkedIn as well. InspireHerWithin.com is my website, and you can also email me at inspireherwithin@gmail.com. And here's a QR code for my podcast, Her Inspired Mind podcast, so that you can listen to it as well. So that's all for